My pet peeve is when boards come in with a ton of wax and it's really hot. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to take that wax off. So let's get into it. If you're working in like hot weather or it's like super sunny and the wax on the board is melting, you're going to want to take that off because it's kind of gross. It gets all over your racks and all over the floor, and it's just like gross. I hate, my pet peeve is when boards come in with a ton of wax and it's really hot. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to take that wax off. So anything like this is kind of like gross, disgusting. This one's got some, look at that. It just comes right off. It's disgusting. So you're going to want to get that off because you don't want that all over your racks or yourself. So I'm going to set this board up right now on the rack in the sun. So you want to put it in a nice sunny spot where the sun's really going to melt it up. Like it's already starting to get pretty just wet. Material wise is you're going to want some wax remover. We use this Ding-All wax remover. It's a liquid. And I like to pour it in a spray bottle just so you can spray it onto the board. And then you're going to want a putty knife, any size, little, big, whatever size you want to use. Some steel wool. I like the super fine is good for surfboards because it won't scratch them up. You're just going to want a pad of that. And you're going to also want a rag. So something that you don't want, you're not going to want to wash it after, so just maybe have a dedicated rag for removing wax and other ding repairs. So first we're going to want to, you're going to let your board sit in the sun. Let it really just melt the wax so you don't have to like use a lot of manpower, and you don't want to use up all your wax remover. So what you're going to do is you're going to scrape it first. And so what I like to do is you're also going to want a bucket, some kind of bucket or pail or bag or something to put the old wax in. So you're just going to want, I start at the end of the board and just work my way down. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's going to come off in chunks and you're just going to throw it in your bucket. Comes off so easily in the heat, and if you're not somewhere where there's hot weather, sunshine, you can just scrape it off without the sun or heat. It just makes it a lot easier. The other thing you can do if you're like inside or it's cold out or whatever, you can use a hair dryer on it just to heat it up. It makes this scraping a lot easier. You don't have to de-wax a board, but if you're working in hot weather, it's really annoying to have a board full of wax. But if it's cold out or something and it's not bothering you, don't worry about it. You don't have to. It's also nice when somebody gets their board back fixed and it's nice and clean. Always good. Alright, so after you do the initial scrape, you're going to want to go over maybe again and just get the last little bits as much as you can scrape off as possible. And you're not always going to be able to get all of it just because there's usually lots of little dimples and dents in the board where it will sit. Get as much off as possible. Unless you're going to have to scrub off later. Alright, so that's pretty good. We got it pretty clean. So like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but that'll work. So next you're going to take your spray bottle with your wax remover and your and your steel wool and your rag in the other hand. So what I like to do is I'll spray a section first and then work with the steel wool and then wipe the rest clean with your rag. So I'll show you how I do that. I usually start at the tail or whatever end, or nose. Actually, we're gonna start at the nose and work our way that way. So what you're gonna do first is spray. If the spray bottle will work. There we go. Be pretty generous with it. Just don't go all the way down because sometimes it tends to drip off. Just start at the nose. Scrub it with the steel wool. It also helps to de-wax the board. This way you can see any dings that might be on the deck. You might miss them if you don't de-wax. Kind of like brightens the board, takes all the crap off. You can really see. So scrub it with the steel wool, get it off, and then take your rag and just wipe it down. Your steel wool is going to get a little gooped up. That's okay. You can fold it over so that you get a nice fresh side. And you can use, like I said, we use the super fine usually, the 000. You can use like just 10 if it's a board that you don't care. So maybe an older board or something, or you can use 00, but we like the quadruple 0. And when you're done with that, flip the board over. Do the bottom. My other pet peeve is sand. Take the sand off your board. Don't ever send your board to get repaired with the leash on it. Kind of annoying. This gets in the way. Your ding repair person will not appreciate it. They'll probably end up taking it off, and hopefully you'll get it back. There you have it. Nice clean board. Wipe it down nice with the rag. And you're good to go.